So today we're going to talk about micrometers, kind of the next step up from the calipers. A micrometer is that thing that kind of looks like a C-clamp almost, like that. And it has several parts to it. We have the barrel, which is the main part of the micrometer. Of course, the C-clamp part would be, the C-looking part would be over here. Then we have the thimble. The thimble actually spins on the barrel, and it actually moves in and out as it turns. So you read the micrometer in two places. You read the main scale here on the barrel, and that is read at the edge of the thimble. Wherever that edge is where you read that main scale. And then on the thimble, you have these numbers. You read that at the axis of the barrel. So let's take a look. Of course, we do have standard and metric. We're going to look at standard first. So here's a standard micrometer. Micrometer is because when you turn, you basically got to turn this and screw it in and out like a thread on a nut or on a bolt. Because it takes quite a while to move it in and out, most micrometers have 1 inch of travel. So most micrometers are what we call a 0 to 1 inch micrometer, which means there are 0 whole inches. So what's actually labeled on the main scale here is tenths. So this here would be 2/10 of an inch. Does that make sense? Now, just like on the caliper for standard measure, these are quarter marks. So this would be 2/10. This would be 25 thousandths. So this is 0.225. You get confused? No? So then what does it read over here on the thimble? 15 lines up. So that's another 15 thousandths. We add that on. This is 0.240 inches. So this one would read how many, first of all, how many tenths? So 0.4, is it to the quarter mark yet? It's right at the 0, isn't it? So that'd be 25. Plus 0, right? Yeah. Makes it 0.425 inches. That one's a little easy to read. Let's do the more difficult one. That one's kind of easy to read. That's exactly 0.8. Is it important to have these zeros here? Yes, it is. Good. How about here? 0.975. Then what? We're all done? Plus 5,000, so 0.005, so 0.980 inches. Now, we said that most of these have only 1 inch of travel. If you want to measure something bigger than an inch, you have to use a special micrometer. They make like 1 to 2 inch micrometers, 2 to 3 inch micrometers, and I've seen them as big as up to 8 inch, 7 to 8 inch. They only have 1 inch of travel, so like a 2 to 3 inch could not measure anything smaller than 2 inches. It would go up to 3 inches. It's just very slow to screw them in and out, so you don't want to have to. What's that? Caliper? A micrometer is a little bit more precise. Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking at custom engine builds and stuff like that, you need to. So anyway, let's say that this is a 2 to 3 inch. What that means is that it starts out with 2 whole inches, and then this. Yeah, I know. You'd have to machine the parts. Yeah. But you have to work with the machinist to tell them how big it has to be. I know. Sure. So this is going to be 2 whole inches plus, is it 5 or 6 tenths? 5. Because it hasn't quite made it back to the 0 here yet, which means it hasn't quite made it to that next mark. So that's 575 plus, this is 21, 2, 3, 4, so 0.024. So this is 2.599 inches. Questions? So this one, read it for me.
0.625 plus
Perfect. So 0.626 inches. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Let's say that this is a 3/4 micrometer. What's this going to read then? How many? 3.4. 25. So 3.434. That work? This one, if it's not marked, it's assumed to be just a 0, 1. So this is going to read what? 0.7. Not quite back to the 0 yet, so it's not quite to that mark. Perfect. 0.747 inches. This one. Is it to the 0.9 yet?
No.
So 0.8. There you go. So 0.898 inches. One more. Perfect. So 0.338 inches. This one here is a depth micrometer. This is one that you guys might use a lot more. To use a depth micrometer, you have to look at the extensions. This is a 3 to 4 inch extension here, which means that this is going to start out as a 3-inch reading. Now the rest of this over here reads the same. This is going to be 0.2. That's past the 25, so 225. What's it read on the thimble? 20, so 0.020. So this is 3.245 inches is that depth. This one looks similar, except there's one little difference. This is the 3 to 4 inch extension. This is a 1/2 inch extension. So this one starts out as 3.5 inches. So we're going to have to do a little bit of an extra step. This is 0.325. And then this is 12 thousandths. So 3.837 inches. Oops, I don't know where the extra I came from there, but there we go. What do you think? Time for lunch. Tell me what to do with this one. So it's 2.350. Is it 50 or 75? 50. Hasn't quite made it to the 0 yet. And then 24. So 2.374 inches. This one, 3.5 plus 150. Good, because it hit the 0. The 10 means it just passed a mark, right? And then 10. If you had said 25 there, I would accept it. Just because it's kind of a tricky read. It's a bad picture. 3.660 is what that comes out to be. How's this one read?
4.5.
4.5.
4.75.
0.475.
0.475.
And then 0.024, right? So 4.999 inches.
What is that?
This is a metric micrometer. So these are actually millimeters. This is 15 millimeters. This would be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These are the half marks. So this would be 15 and a half, 16, 16 and a half, 17, and so on. So this is 20, 20 and a half, 21. So it's 21 whole millimeters. And this is hundredths of a millimeter, so that's 0.05 millimeters. This one is how many whole millimeters? Yeah, 15, 16, 17, 18 and a half. So 18.5. Then what's it read over here? 45.45. So it's 18.95 millimeters. So this one reads it looks like 8.5, but this is at 0, which means it just hit 9. This one. That's 10, 11, 12, 13. It is past the 14 because it's just past 0. 14.03. Perfect. And finally, this one. Careful. 17 and a half plus 0.35, so 17.85 millimeters. What's that? So page 183 in your book, exercise 4.4a, 1 through 20. And then page 186, exercise 4.4b, also 1 through 20. Yeah, if you do the odds and you're good with it, that's fine.